Hi, everybody. Welcome to Off the Rack. I'm Sal.
And I'm Tiffany.
So let's jump into some books that came out this past week that we think were pretty okay. I don't know. Positivity. There are a lot of books that came out last week. We actually missed the week before, and we're not going to have a lot of time to get into those, but we'll talk about what we can. Mostly, there's a lot of books that came out this past week. I'd say it was a solid week. What about you?
Yeah.
Right? A lot of stuff. A lot of stuff came out, and so I'm excited to talk about them.
Me too.
Want to take a quick second just to say, if you want to sponsor today's episode, you can do so by using a super chat and ask a question or comment. That way, you're weaved into the tapestry of this show, and it can never be taken from you. Also, if you want to help us in another way, you can always do so by going to patreon.com/comicpop and helping us out there. We recently hit a massive milestone over on our mother channel, youtube.com/comicpop, where we've hit over 100,000 subscribers in over only about 2 weeks. We've actually got another 1,000, so now we're at 101,000, which I guess means it made it. Like, it really worked.
101.
101,000 subscribers.
Watch out. The YouTube version of Cruella DeVille is coming for us.
Yes, she'll skin our channel and make a beautiful fur coat out of it. A morbid one, anyway. But I wanted to say thank you to everybody for supporting us, for subscribing, for joining us. Not just those who have just joined, thanks mostly, probably almost entirely thanks to the Weekly Planet Pod and Mr. Sunday Movies, but also to those of you who have been here for a really long time. We've been here for a really long time, and there are many of you who have been here, since we had another name.
Yeah.
And here I am talking about another channel. We're not even on that channel. We're on youtube.com/ComicPop Returns, which has a little over 10% of that subscriber base, which is really impressive.
Yeah, it's great.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, wow, because you can't usually get 10% of anything anymore. Certainly any kind of crossover, like all these advertisers are always like, I give only 10% of that juicy money. It's like, you're not gonna get 10%. But we did. We got more than 10% of that subscriber base. So over here. And so this is like, let's see where we can take this thing. ComicPop Returns, live shows, and all that stuff.
That's accurate.
So yeah, a lot of stuff came out. Let's talk about some of it. I don't want to spend too much time on any like given thing, but I will.
Sure.
I will talk a little bit about a book from Jed MacKay and CF Villa, which is called Mary Jane and Black Cat Beyond.
I saw a lot about this book, but
a lot of people talk about this book.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a weird. I can't quite put my finger on what it is about this book.
I don't know.
A lot of people will be talking about,
and
maybe you can shed.
I will try
a little light on it.
I will try. It looks. I mean, and you'd think it's just a J. Scott Campbell cover, but no. In fact, this cover delivers on every conceivable level. You get Mary Jane in a black cat suit. You get Black Cat in a black cat suit. You get both of them in the same frame together. They team up to help Spider-Man, and it's really cool. And it's actually a really fun issue that has a lot of really like high-flying action and some really solid art in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. The art's, it's serviceable to the story. It's not groundbreaking, but it's also pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Mary Jane and Felicia team up to deal with the Hood.
Oh.
Yep. The Hood is like, I don't know what this schlub has two beautiful women standing over him for, but I know that you're Black Cat and I need you to steal my hood back. It got eaten by a demon and I need somebody to go take it back. So that's it.
It got eaten by a demon.
It did. It got eaten by a demon.
How is this not the tie-in issue to Death of Doctor Strange?
It is, more or less. Well,
but it's not. They did one.
They did one already. But yes, that also happens in this. And yeah, Jed MacKay, I think, is involved with the Death of Doctor Strange. He's writing that book. So yeah, well, it's synergy, man. He knows what he's delivering on.
Okay.
And so the two of them go on a fun adventure that involves like Count Nefaria and a bunch of different fun characters. It's really cool. I really enjoyed it. It's a high-flying action adventure story involving the strengths of both Felicia Hardy and Mary Jane Watson. And it's just a fun issue. I just enjoyed it. It's a recommend from me. Read it. If you're looking for like a respite from like the weird Spider-Man status quo, this is something that actually like delivers on that status quo. Mary Jane and Black Cat.
On a lot of things.
A lot of things, yeah. Yeah. Some people on TikTok were like really quick to talk about how when Peter wakes up, he sees both of them in cat suits and says, "Oh, it's that dream again. Please be gentle." And I'm like, there's no way Peter had that dream, but okay.
No, he's being sarcastic.
Yeah. There we go.
it
We're back.
is.
Thanks a lot, Internet. Great job. Optimum is a terrific system. They're a great company. It isn't garbage at all. Amazing Spider-Man 87 from Jed McKay and Carlos Gomez. This one is also fun. It involves Black Cat some more. In this case, Black Cat, I guess, has Steve Rogers' phone number. I don't know how, but she basically convinces Cap to like help Spider-Man, Peter Parker, like get back in the saddle, figure it out, get his shit together.
Right.
So, yeah, that's it. It's just Spider-Man kind of like learning to get his groove back thanks to like Captain America and Felicia Hardy, two unlikely allies. And
you mean him waking up to find Mary Jane and Black Cat there, both in those outfits?
Wasn't enough
for him to be like, I got to rally.
No, apparently not. Hey, thanks a lot, Optimum. You lost me 20 people. So, yeah, it's good art, fun story. I enjoyed it. That's it.
Okay.
It's just solid. Devil's Reign, more of the same. It's a good book with great art, and it looks fun, and it is very much just Civil War 3.5 or whatever, but who cares? You know, it's...
Who cares?
Who cares? Who's not asking for more Civil War? No, it's fun because it's like a combination of Civil War meets like I don't know, the Dark Avengers era. But like, you know, because of Superhuman Registration.
Right.
It's fun. I wish that like this is the halfway point. I wish it was ramping up a little better, but it's like it's doing its thing. And I trust the creative team. So any dips in momentum are like meant to be, I think, like a break before the action like really gets like ramping up. I really expect the action to go nuts. Also, full references and fun stuff from Emperor Doom, and you get also like an explanation as to why Iron Man was acting so fishy in the previous stories. So there you go.
Okay.
But I liked it as well. I recommend that one too. So check that out. What do you got, Tiffany? What do
you want to do super chats, or do you want me
Yeah,
to
might as well, I guess. All right. We got some great people in here when we want to hear from them. Raj Patel, hey guys, sub to King and Elsa's everlasting tier Substack after reading the issue of their book. It's worth it to me because they both put out books that haven't disappointed me. Hope the snow wasn't too bad. It was not. Thank you.
No, we were very fortunate.
Yeah.
So hooray.
That's right.
It was pretty snow. We still had a shovel.
No, we did have a
shovel.
shovel.
We still had between like 4 and 6 inches.
It was fine.
But apparently we're those people now who was like, that's fine.
Yeah. No, we had like 2.
It was not 2.
It wasn't 4 to 6.
It was, I think it might have been 4.
No.
Okay.
Brian Rollins, I work at a library in Syracuse, New York, and I'm happy to say almost every library around me has Mouse, and every single copy is checked out right now. That's fantastic.
Great.
Yeah.
That's
I noticed one of the libraries was checked out, but all the libraries that I called had a copy of Mouse.
Oh, that's fantastic.
If you're wondering what we're talking about, check out our episode of the Elseworlds Exchange that just passed this week, and check out our discussion. Yeah, it's right over there. Chris Gross says, "Hope you all made it fine in the storm over a foot in Freehold." New subscriber from via Mr. Sunday Movies, bringing back issues or binging back issues. Thanks for the great content and commentary. Thank you for joining us,
fellow New Jerseyan.
Seriously, yeah. Hey, hope we'll catch you around the old neighborhood. But thank you so much for joining us from over there and for doing the hop. You didn't just cross the pond from Mr. Sunday to Comic Pop, but you also came to Comic Pop Returns. But enjoy the binge. Let me know what episode you're on.
Yeah.
Ethan Ainsworth, how's the leak situation in the studio? I had one myself recently. Also, anyway, we'll see Ultron 8 is better father than you'll ever be t-shirts return. No, Marvel finally sent us a cease and desist and removed the shirt from TeePublic, so that shirt is gone.
How to get out of the way for all those Ultron 8 shirts they're making.
Exactly. No, it's true.
So
it's true.
Be on the lookout.
And I don't know what it was that allowed it to exist for 8 years, but whatever. In that case, I will say the leak is fine for now, but like fingers crossed, knock on wood, all that stuff.
This week's supposed to warm up a little bit, so we're a little worried.
Because we got more snow and it's just sitting there, and I'm sure they didn't patch that hole, so I'm sure we're going to get more leaks.
No, they had to wait.
Yeah, they had to wait. Yeah, they had to wait for us to forget. MMN said McKay has a really good voice for MJ and Felicia. He does. I enjoy it.
Let that negativity creep in, man.
I know. It's not negativity, it's realism. Wakisashi's Tea House, still here, always watching. I recommend the Crimson Cage from AWA, pro wrestling mixed with a story of Macbeth, horror comedy fun with great art. Nice.
Well, there you go, 'cause I know there is a lot of crossover with wrestling in general.
Yeah.
So that might be appealing to some folk for sure.
Yeah, I think if it weren't for wrestling, we wouldn't have Daniel Warren Johnson in our field. So I'm very lucky to have wrestling, even though I'm not really a huge fan myself.
There you go.
MMNN, MNNM says, who actually wrote the latest ASM issue? The cover says Jed McKay, but the info page says Zeb Wells. That's right. I think Wells did write this one because it felt the most in character for Peter. So I think it actually was Wells, and that's part of the reason why it was like, oh, this is actually like a really fun issue. Jed McKay was the writer on this issue, so that's what it says in the credits page.
That's so weird.
So it's Jed McKay.
Yeah, but like, yeah.
I don't know.
Um,
And Joshua says, finally got a job with enough pay to send a super chat along
Aw.
with the time to catch you guys live. Thank you so
welcome.
much, man.
Thanks for being here.
Started following when COVID started. I just want to say thanks for the that went away. Thanks for the hours of entertainment and congrats on 100K. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
man.
and congrats on the new job.
Seriously, yeah, that's a source of pride.
Mhm.
Good for you, man. And Robert A. The way I'd introduce the X-Men to the MCU would be to have Patrick Stewart reveal it to Doctor Strange that mutants exist in every reality and that they've likely been hiding via his Professor X's that Professor X's interference.
Oh.
All right, I'd take that. That'd be well enough. It's close enough. It's a little bit of both worlds, right? Because I just want the X-Men to have already existed. I don't want to deal with portals and energies and
They'll
stuff.
just be like, there's an island.
Oh yeah, they'll do an island. Marvel's all in on Krakoa. There's no way
there's an island. They're all there.
Yeah, they're all there.
They're all there. You think Fury moved fast?
I hate that.
Not as fast as the X-Men.
Yeah, that sucks. All right, what do you got?
Hey, while we're talking about Jed McKay,
Mhm.
let's talk about the death of Doctor Strange. It wrapped this
Oh
week.
yeah, that's right. With a huge bang. Everyone's talking about it.
What?
No, they're not.
Okay.
I feel bad because it's like you've been kind of enjoying this. You've been. I'm waiting on bated breath for this because you've been like, well, it's really all going to boil down to like how it all comes together.
How it all wraps up. Right?
Yes.
Jed McKay with art by Lee Garbett. I don't know. I always want to put so many other letters in that name. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Okay. So like the Doctor Strange that is like a moment plucked in time.
Blue Doctor Strange.
Yes, Blue Doctor Strange. Does that help?
Blue Cape.
Does that help everybody? He's dealing with Caecilius, who is the murderer who's had the powers of like the other like magical lords filtered through him.
Oh.
Everyone's to blame, right?
Okay.
So they gotta fight, but oh no, like they're all gonna leave because like the lords are gonna flee because the mothers are coming with the baby, the child, the peregrine child.
What?
The peregrine. Do you remember the three mothers and the peregrine child?
No.
It's like
It doesn't help because
like magical Silver Surfer and Galactus.
Oh, all right.
It hungers for magic, and
oh, right, yes.
give it sources.
Yes, I remember that now.
By
the way, this is issue 5,
nourishment.
chapter 11.
Yeah, it's 11 through chapter 13.
Yeah.
Chapter 13 is the end
Right.
because magic. Number 13. Okay, so really at the end of the day, like we solved the mystery, we fixed the issue with the peregrine child and the mothers, and we establish a new status quo at the end of it, right?
Yeah. What is it?
The new status quo is Doctor Strange is dead. He comes back for a minute, but then he's dead.
What?
He comes back and then he's dead.
Okay.
Because death.
But is he though?
Because you can't escape death. She's the real.
Does she show up?
No. She's a real stickler, so he has to like leave. But like he dies or he doesn't die. I don't know. Maybe he magics himself away someplace to make a bargain with death. Like
probably
death. I've come to bargain. I bet they'd love to put that in there.
Why wouldn't they? That'd be dope.
And maybe he'll get a chance because like isn't there like a new thing coming up dealing with like Thanos?
There's always a new thing with Thanos.
Is it Thanos?
Well,
Thanos
like
is X-Men and the Avengers.
Well, no, that's about the X-Men versus the Avengers versus the Eternals.
That's what it is.
Yeah, and that has nothing. I don't think that has any. Well, Thanos will be in it because he's Prime Eternal.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah. No, would you like to know the hook on that?
No, it's the hook.
Mutants are deviants.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Druig is saying, and Druig is like working with Thanos.
Right.
So we'll say.
So the Eternals are gonna go for.
Hey, listen, anybody who wasn't reading the Eternals, it's gonna be real confusing if Thanos shows up. You're gonna be like, why is he here?
Why is he here?
Well, I know he's connected, but like, and why are they listening to him?
Why would they listen to anything he has to say?
But
in this,
anyway, I was trying to make a connection to like like Death being like, just make Thanos stop what he's doing. Strange, and you can go back. It's fine.
Okay.
I'm just
no, I know, but yeah.
But there's a couple moments in here that I'm like, All right. This really wraps up real fast.
Yes.
Like in a way where I'm like, we already solved the mystery.
Right.
And then it's like, oh, I'm like, oh no, but we still have to deal with three mothers. And then it's like, oh, okay. So that's like fine. It was a little weak
Yeah.
for me. There's a moment in which when Blue Cape Strange is dealing with Caecilius and all of them, that like the other magical beings are trying to leave and they can't use their magic, and they're like, how is this possible? That's my impersonation
that's
of them,
fair.
I suppose. Wong uses a binding spell so that no magic can be used there by them, or
Okay.
like what have you, and they're like, how could one man do that? And he's like, because my Doctor Strange, I only had Wong as my friend, but the other guy you killed, he had a lot of friends. And so like it's like magic users from all over the world who are helping to strengthen Wong's spell, right?
Okay.
Among them is Doctor Doom, and that I don't buy. I don't buy that at all. I know that like the two of them have like a history.
They have a little bit of like an uneasy history.
But like
yeah.
I don't believe that Doom would feel that like he should power Wong.
Right. It would take, well, maybe Wong owes Doom a favor now. It's usually how it works.
Sure. It was just so weird. I was like, all right, because like this like
people would
Doctor
ask
Strange,
where Doom was though. Like that's the thing. It's like a catch-22. Like you'd have to explain what, like people would go, why isn't Doom here? Doom's a magician. And it's like, yeah, but like,
no, you wouldn't. Would you ever have to explain that?
you would not.
You'd be like, Doom does this, he pleases.
If you want to put Doctor Doom in the book, just put a page where it's like, or a panel where Doom's like, no.
Nah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. But essentially, like they end up winning the day, and then like our Blue Cape Doctor Strange brings back our Doctor Strange by casting a healing spell on Caecilius, which, because Caecilius has the soul of Doctor Strange within him, it basically consumes him and turns him into Doctor Strange.
Oh, it turns Caecilius' body into Doctor Strange.
Yeah, like it feeds off of that and then makes him
real. So there you go. He's back to life.
No, but he leaves then at the end.
Why?
Because death.
Because we killed him in the title.
And because we set up the status quo.
Because we want a female like Sorcerer Supreme at the end of the book. That's why.
Listen, Cape Doctor Strange says, like, I understand what my purpose is. They take care of the other problem, right? And then at the end, he like kisses Clea because like Blue Cape Doctor Strange is like, I'll do all this, but you just make me a promise, Strange. And the promise is like, don't let her...
Strange?
Yeah. He's like, Blue Strange tells our brought back Strange, like, you gotta make me a promise. It's like, don't let her go. Like you shouldn't have let Clea go in the first place.
But he's like, I'm dead. I'm not gonna be able to not let her go.
No, but like our Doctor Strange is like, our like Blue Cape doesn't understand that there's a cost to magic, and so like there's a price to pay, and it wasn't just enough that Caecilius is gone. Like I have to die. Like I have to be gone.
Okay.
Or whatever.
Sounds very flimsy. Okay, cool.
So listen, I'm sure there's going to be, I guarantee you there's going to be a mini series at some point that explains where he went.
Yeah, of course. No, that's what her book will be.
So fine, whatever.
Looking for him.
So like she kisses him and he fades away, but like he's like, you have to do me a favor. You gotta do me a solid, Clea. And he hands her the cape and the amulet. And I'm like, I don't think that's how you become Sorcerer Supreme.
It's not. I mean, you know as well. You know more than me.
I'm pretty sure.
But like, that's not how Brother Voodoo became the Sorcerer Supreme either.
I know. But I'm like, I'm pretty sure that like the Vishanti really should be like,
you don't get to. It'd be funny if they did show up and they go, you don't get to give it to her. And then they go, we'll give it to her.
She's already a Sorcerer Supreme
of her own dimension. Well, that makes her more than qualified.
Could you like do both?
Right? Well, no, then she'll have to pick, like, she'll have to bequeath somebody to be the Sorcerer Supreme of the Dark Dimension.
Yeah, hey, Mom.
Well, who will it be? Who's the Sorcerer Supreme of the Dark Dimension now? Maybe it's Kid Dormammu.
That's a mistake. So...
maybe it's Brother Voodoo's brother.
I enjoyed the ride of this book.
Yeah?
But like up until this issue, like I said, this issue just felt like, I don't know. It just didn't have the strength I felt, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Of the other issues that came before it. It just wasn't as solid an ending as I was hoping. I was like, oh, that's interesting. They just brought him back. And I assumed that Strange was going to just leave for a bit.
Right.
Either to deal with the three mothers in the Peregrine trial.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Or what have you, and be like, I need someone to like remain vigil in my stead.
Yeah. Well, what's great about that ending, because I saw that page because it was spoiled for me, was that you can just say that he faked his death.
Oh no,
to go do that.
I'm not saying. Well, no, they took care of the other stuff, so it's not even a question. But I don't believe that it's like he's dead. I think they'll just say whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
No.
But
But
there
it
you
will
go.
be a trade when the movie comes out.
Oh, you better believe it.
And I guess you'll have to cover it on back issues.
Oh, okay.
But Clea will be Sorcerer Supreme from now on.
Yes. For the time being, that's happening. But that was my experience with that.
Okay. Neat. That happened.
That did happen.
Ethan Ainsworth says Felicia and Cap kind of teamed during King and Black. Maybe they traded at numbers. Also, I will be donating Mouse to my old high school because of Elseworlds. Nice. That's a good idea.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I would love. You don't really get much of it in the Spider-Man issue, but like I would love to see more of like Steve being like, man, Felicia. Nuke says, hey guys, congrats on 100K. Been there since 2016, combining my older YouTube accounts, and the constant entertainment has been fantastic. Thanks for all you do, and here's to the next milestone. Thanks,
nice.
man. Yeah, that's right. Thank you so much. Wilbert Robinson, thoughts on Avengers versus X-Men versus Eternals? Good luck. I'm gonna read it. We'll see how it goes.
Well, why do they always got to fight?
Well, maybe they're not. Maybe they won't fight. Maybe
All
it'll be.
right.
I assume it'll be Eternals versus Avengers and the X-Men. Michael Banner says, my pitch, Charles has been hiding mutants but gets snapped away, so slowly people start to learn about them and Charles decides not to hide it but to teach. Could be. That's fine. Yeah, they seem to be using the snap for a lot of things.
The snap is useful.
Silvery Cricket, Return of Doctor Strange. Tagline's going to be the most harrowing challenge Strange has ever faced. Can he seduce death itself?
You know he'll try.
Yeah, well, the Return of Doctor Strange is the name of the book. Like, you know that's coming. Good titling. Yeah, what else we got?
I just want to mention I read this. I don't know why. I didn't watch the Netflix live action show of this, but I read Cowboy Bebop.
Yes.
Came out from Titan Comics, written by Dan Waters with art by Lamar Mathurin.
Now, what you say that because this is not a isn't not a manga that is continuing like the.
No, it's specifically it says a Netflix. I can't actually even see what this says at the bottom of the page, but it says something about Netflix, a Netflix series, right? Like it's specifically referencing that the characters in the book look like the characters from the Netflix series,
right?
Except for again, I didn't watch it,
no,
but I watched the anime.
Of course,
I just didn't have interest, but like to see this and to see their characters look so much like
the actors,
and then to see the bounty hunter hosts look just like the anime was
maybe they didn't show up in the show.
Really, like I was like, what is my brain like broke for a second.
It's fair.
If you really liked the show, maybe you're gonna like this. If you liked the anime, there's something about it that is
like vaguely reminiscent
to it. Now Ed is not in this, it's just Ein.
Hmm.
I mean, could be, you could just put it in your head it's before they picked up Ed. I don't know.
The
opening few pages of this book is, I don't want to say this in a bad way, it's just what it reminded me of. It's like an assignment in a graphic design or comics class that said, I want you to take the first few lines of a song and draw them.
Oh.
Because all like the first few lines of dialogue in this are, I think it's time we blow this thing.
Oh,
get everybody and their stuff together.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Yep.
That sucks. 3, 2, 1. That blows. And
it's like it's done very intentionally. It's colored in the opening.
Yeah, I see that
sort of look to it. Just as a heads up, I just want to give you a show. Like I read this. It's written by Dan Waters. He's a very competent writer. For sure. I also read Wonder Girl this week. It wrapped it up.
Yes. Yes. That and I assume that Joelle Jones didn't draw a stitch of it.
No, Layla Del Duca did it this time. She was on art for this book, and the art is surface. You know what it is? There's nothing wrong with the art.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's just that it's not
that
hers.
I saw Joelle's. That's the only problem with it, and that's not her fault.
No,
that's not her fault at all. You know, if you liked this series and you like the way that like Yara
Floor
was written, then you're probably going to enjoy the rest of this. It just sets
it's a shame.
It is a shame, and that's really all I can say about that. Like that element's a shame.
Like should have just made it a Black Label original graphic novel.
I 100% had that, like the complete thought while I was reading it. I was like,
I'm sorry,
missed out.
Yeah.
I also read Task Force Z.
Yeah, how'd that turn
So
out?
I missed issue 3 and I went back, and now I'm caught up, and
good.
I'm like weirdly interested.
Oh no.
I don't know what happened.
This book also got spoiled for me, so I got to see like
I don't know what happened to me.
Red Hood interact with Bane, which was really satisfying.
Yes. Yeah. So essentially what was revealed is that like, oh my gosh, you know who's behind this whole thing? It's Two-Face.
What? Okay.
Two-Face is Crispin.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Is
By
the
way,
whole thing
this
like
is written by Matt Rosenberg with pencils by Eddie Barrows and Kieran
McKeown?
McKeown. Basically, he's saying for altruistic reasons, he's trying to like make up for like the things that he's done in his past, and
Okay.
by doing so, he's basically like doing an audition for Waller to see if they'll be picked up as a new team.
Okay, that's cool. That's like a neat idea. I like that idea.
They're not real, like they're technically allowed to do these things, but they're not technically working for the government yet.
Right.
It's a trial, right?
Right. Okay.
Bloom's doing his own thing. He's got machinations. I think that's why I'm hanging on to this, because I'm like,
There's a Bloom.
I just what is it with me and Mr. Bloom? I don't know. I don't know, guys.
Mm-hmm.
But we also run into Batman in this.
Okay.
Jason has been put into this by Batman. Basically, Batman's like trying to get more information about what's going on.
Yeah.
Jason and he have a really weird conversation. It's still very angsty, very like, you don't own me and you don't like that. You don't like that things don't go your way, right?
Yeah.
And that's fine. That's all pretty keeping in character, I guess. I'm not reading anything Red Hood wise, so I don't
sometimes
know.
It is, yeah.
However, there is a moment here where like they're having a conversation. There's like a scream in an alleyway. Batman takes off to go save whoever it is. Hood joins him. It's a woman having her purse snatched by like way too many guys. They save her. She runs off. And while they're fighting, Red Hood says like, I want something more than fighting punk purse snatchers in alleys. What year is this? Seriously, beating up drug addicts and mentally ill people all night. Who are we helping? And I'm like, haven't you been a part of a lot of Batman's much larger adventures?
Right. Yeah. That's pretty lame.
So that was like the only really bit of dialogue where I was like, why? What?
Why would you do that?
It was just strange to me.
Yeah, it's like an editor came in and was like, I want to put this in there.
Yeah.
It's weird. But we all know that didn't happen because DC doesn't have any editors.
Right. But by the end of this, Waller shows up, tells like
she's like,
you're done. Get out.
Well done, Dent.
No, she's like, get out. You suck.
Yeah, because you're not me. Right.
They go on like one more mission. I don't think the team knows that they're like defunded at this point.
Right.
They go to a lab where they essentially run into a team that's just them.
Oh, like it's a 1-to-1. It's not
sort of
that's like they're clones. It's like a version of that team.
No, it's literally like they're doing the same thing over here, and like the doctor there is actually there are two doctors, like female doctors, who have been working on this, and they're both named like Layla and Delia, or I don't know. And she's Celia.
Okay.
She's the one who's alive.
Oh.
So they're all clones. They're like whatever.
All right.
It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Cool.
But like I'm weirdly invested in this now. I don't know.
That was a ringing endorsement, let me tell you.
Here's a book I'm weirdly invested in.
Yeah, that's fair.
But no, it's fun. It's silly.
Yeah.
Bloom clearly has something going on.
Right.
Like it's everyone's backstabbing everyone else. And the moment you're talking about in this is that like Hood in the last, I think it was the last issue.
Yeah, it was the last issue.
Couldn't forgive himself, or like has a conversation with another team member, the Sundowner, and she says that like you can't like forgive Bane because you can't forgive yourself. Right? Like you won't forgive Bane because you won't forgive yourself.
Sure.
For what happened to Alfred, right?
Yeah, because don't forget Bane killed Alfred.
Yeah.
And they still haven't undone that.
No, they haven't done that. So in this, Jason has convinced the team to get more Lazarus resin.
Yes.
So that they will be a little more aware and not so zombie-ish, so he won't keep being eaten.
Mm-hmm.
So we finally stopped the cycle.
Ah, good.
Of Jason being eaten at the end of the book.
Excellent.
But Bane is a little more aware of what he's done.
Yeah.
And so they have this moment, and then Jason just beats the hell out of him and pushes him off the side of a building.
Yeah.
So I guess that's forgiving him.
Yeah.
It's cool, I guess.
Cool. I don't want to spend too much time talking about this book.
X-Men?
Yeah. But
I loved this issue.
We read X-Men. It's by Duggan and Laraz. We explain the death of Cyclops.
This issue explains what happened in the last
And I was
issue.
like, I thought it was just that you found his corpse from before, but like, no, this is like a new, like a retcon, but still part of the ongoing story about like how Cyclops died in the public view, like why the public
Why the
mourned.
public was so aware.
Yes.
And I was like, oh yeah.
Oh, and that's cool. And it was like,
And it looks.
it's a stunning looking book. It's an amazingly fun issue. It's got everything you expect from this series. So like that's all I could say. It's a really fun issue, and it's got everything you want. Like everything we like about the X-Men book is on display in this issue.
Yeah, and it also, there's a couple of info dumps at the end. And if you didn't read them, I highly recommend
You should,
it.
yeah.
You have to read those info dumps because it's like, oh.
Well, because Duggan is now the Hickman of the X-Men universe.
Right.
So like you should pay attention to what he's planning.
Yeah,
if you want to keep reading.
But it's also funny because it's like one info dump's like, oh my gosh, is like one mutant on their team possibly more powerful than they think, and like maybe, but then the next one's like kind of not.
Nah.
And I'm like, okay, but like for reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So
really, really fun. X-Men number 7
just looks so good.
Yeah, Pepe Larraz, man. He Marte Gracia's colors also help in a big bad way. Not help, but like compliment.
There's something about like the Krakoa era too that has really made me like be like, I like Cyclops.
Right? Yeah, it really did a work. Like not so much like redeeming him, but like making him legitimize. It did
a lot for his character.
I think so.
It's like a good PR piece for like.
Jace Philippe Garcia, thank you so much for your super chat, man. We really appreciate
oh my gosh,
your support.
thank
it's
you.
Very kind
Seriously.
and very generous. So thank you so much for that.
I read Saga.
You did read Saga.
I can't talk about it because if you didn't read what came before, it will only contain spoilers for you, and so I can't do that to you. What I can say was, if you're looking for what I thought about this book, I'll be honest with you, I let it sit on my desk for a really long time.
You did, yeah.
Because I wasn't ready.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I tweeted, I'm not ready, I meant it, guys. It wasn't just a like, haha, hype, like, tweet or whatever.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready. And I read it literally last night. And I don't know if I still was ready, but I will say I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Good. Was it worth the wait?
Was it worth the wait? I can't tell you that because I can't tell you what would have been because there's a time jump.
Well, they want you to have that time jump. I'm sure was intentional.
No.
No.
Well, I mean, maybe it was. I don't know. I don't know because Vaughn's been very like he's got like he knows the ending and how he's going to get there. So maybe there was meant to be a time jump, but maybe there wasn't. And it just happens to be the time jump happens to be as long as they were away. And it's like, what stories did we miss?
Right.
That's what I mourn. But it's something I don't know.
Yeah, if they ever were going to do that.
Yeah, like I don't know if it was worth it. So I can't say yay or nay to whether or not it was worth it, but I can say that it is as quality a product as it was before, and I still enjoyed the hell out of it. It is a oversized issue.
Ooh.
I can't remember if it's double sized or not. I can't remember what he said. It's oversized for sure.
Mm-hmm.
For the same price with no ads.
Cool.
And he said as long as pre-orders stay where they are, they will be able to continue to do that.
Good.
They will continue to give you a book that has no ads and as longer than it should be for the price tag that it's at. Don't forget as well, Image is no longer doing second runs on printed issues. So if this is something you want to get in print, this is something that you have to tell a comic book store that you want.
Yep.
I know a lot of people don't believe in pull lists, and like here's the thing, maybe it's just
pull lists are great. Well,
but I'm just saying,
not great, but like it's a crappy system.
But like if you don't like want to have a full pull list, fine, at least put that on there. Otherwise, you're not going to get a first print of this.
Right.
So that's all I'm saying. I did enjoy it though. Yeah, getting back into it was like stretching muscles. It felt so good.
That's cool. Well, I felt similarly about reading Human Target number 4. This comic continues to impress. It is like only part 4 of a 12-issue series. Of course, it's Greg Smallwood and Tom King. It's one of those like rare comics that like comes around more often in this era than ever. When people talk about like, well, the comics fucking 30 years ago were way better, and it's like, you rarely got books like this or Supergirl or anything other than things written by Tom King. But Human Target is like one of the closest things you can get to a perfect comic book published by the big two.
You said that before.
Yeah, and I still stand by it. Like, it's one of those things where it's like it's the closest thing to a perfect comic book that DC is capable of producing.
Yeah.
So if you haven't already, you should read it. I mean, give it at least the first 4 issues and give it a try because it's excellent. It's just it's just great. Chris Chance teams up with Blue Beetle and Ice, but not really. It's more of the story, just continuing. So read this book if you like comics and if you enjoy anything like what they've done before, you will enjoy this.
If you like comics.
If you like comics, you're gonna like the Human Target. Similarly, of course, I think we both read Supergirl.
No.
You didn't read Supergirl number 7?
No.
Well, it's great.
Listen,
so read it.
I chose to read Saga.
You
because
did.
You didn't. You told me we were going to talk about books from last week, so
That's
I
right. I thought this was this week. I'm sorry.
No, it was 2 weeks ago. So I didn't. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I got to focus.
Well, keep reading Supergirl if you haven't already. Pick it up.
You gave me false information.
You're right. I'm sorry. I should also mention just really quick, based on these like Substack things. We talked a little bit about Substack and how like awesome it is. And it's not. It's terrible, but like who cares? Because it allows these creators to make like their own comic books. And a couple of those comics actually came out like recently. One of them is Public Domain by Chip Zdarsky. He wrote and drew it, and you can get it for free if you go to his Substack and subscribe to it. For nothing, for free. You don't have to pay. It's, by the way, like some freaking idiot said that like we get sponsored by like we're paid to talk about books, and like we're not.
What?
Like, yeah, right. Oh, yeah.
Dude,
you
like,
think this fly by night operation is funded by the big two?
If you've got some sort of insider info that like we have a check waiting for us
Right?
someplace, please tell us where.
Yeah, I actually found out there's actually like channels that are way smaller than us that are given free books from Marvel and DC. We're not.
They don't like us.
Like we're not. In fact, you will be given a free copy of Public Domain if you just go to a Substack and check it out. You can also unsubscribe immediately after you get the book, but you can get like a PDF or a CLZ or whatever. And like nobody wants to read their comic books as a PDF. So I totally get not wanting to do that. But it's like reading a preview copy. And sometimes we get preview copies, but we're not. It doesn't come with like a wrapped around a Three Musketeers bar. It's like a know.
I meant to tell you. I noticed because you know who does give us previews?
Comps, yeah,
is Image. I always forget that they send
that's
them
right.
to
They
us
do.
I'm a pile of
that's
crap.
right.
But I noticed. I went to go back. I was like, oh my gosh, could I have read Saga early?
Oh no, they didn't send it to anybody.
That was only when they were like, you may request this after it's released. I was like, that is so smart.
Yeah,
they refused to let it get leaked from that, at least.
Yeah,
I was like, okay.
There's another comic book company that does that, and I'm trying to remember what the hell it was called. It's like Love and Other Robots, and I don't remember what company what that is. In any case, we do get free copies, but it's only because you're on a press list. Like you can get them too.
But we're not paid for our reviews.
We're not paid for our reviews, nor am I paid for Substack. The time for me to create like a Substack exclusive podcast has passed. But like, yeah, Public Domain, it's good. It's like it's like it feels deeply personal, and it's Zdarsky kind of like talking about how comic book movies overshadow comic book creators. Right, so like it's very specialized. It's not very sexy. It's not like what you would Image would not pay a huge advance to get this book. It's the only kind of it's the book you would produce if you felt strongly about it and you were given like a shitload of money from a from a tech company that won't exist in a year or two. Okay. So like, hey, Public Domain, check it out. It's free and it's fun. There's a little bit of like an it's one of those things. I will say one criticism of it is that the lettering is like good, but also it's like how some authors will tell you, like when you read dialogue, sometimes the writing will say like he exclaimed or he shouted or he spat instead of he said. And they're like, just say he said, like just put said, and the reader will infer what the lettering is exactly like that, where like a character speaks with the same lettering, all the characters have the same lettering. So like one character, based on context, screams at another character with the exact same lettering as like an intimate conversation at like in a restaurant.
Okay.
And so it like really didn't sell that moment. And he uses kind of like a 9-panel grid throughout. Not entirely, but like you'll see it every once in a while. And it's fun. It's a fun issue, and it's like completely harmless, and it maybe echoes some viewers' opinions about like how the movie industry is just completely overshadowed like comic book creators, not the comic book industry, the creators themselves. Right, and I'm like, that's kind of cool. Okay. So that was fun. In a similar fashion, Tom King wrote a book, and I was like, well, I'm reading Supergirl and Inhuman Target, and they're amazing. So I guess I'll read Love Everlasting from Tom King and his new collaborator, whose name Elsa Chartier. He'll tell me later because we're doing a show together at some point to plug this book.
Yay.
But like, so we'll work out the pronunciation ahead of time on that show. But it's like an idea where they are teaming up to do romance comics, like old classic, like old classic original Marvel romance comic books.
With a twist?
Yes, there's a twist.
Okay.
Thank God, because let me tell you, like I was reading this and I'm like, oh God, here we go. Like, okay, I'm like, this is really well executed. It's like,
Yeah.
and it's written in a style and it's meant to feel like it evokes this era. It's like kind of like the 50s, and then like there's a time skip, and Joan, the female protagonist, the love character, finds herself in another reality where she's still Joan and she's in love with somebody else in the 60s, and she has a completely different family and a whole different reality. And then she's starting to wonder like where George, her love from the first story, was. And then time skips again and she's like a woman in like the Old West.
Oh.
And she's in love with, there's another love triangle going on. And it's like, they're all the love stories
right
happening to one character who's going through these realities. I'm like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, what a neat idea, I guess.
Perhaps she's Mary Sue, and the idea is that like she's alive as people are just using the same archetype over and over.
That'd be
and
interesting. She doesn't. One of them doesn't make it.
Oh.
But yeah, but I was like, that's kind of cool. Like, what a neat idea, I guess. Like, at first I'm like, oh God, these love stories. Like, it's well executed. It's evoking the time period. The art is like, it evokes a kind of Darwin Cook style. So it's like, wow, that's kind of cool. But then the twist happens. I'm like, oh, okay.
Okay.
All right, now I'm interested. Now I'm interested. Love Everlasting. It's also free on his Substack, so check that out. If you want to read it for free. If you want to read it like we have to read some comps, where it's like you download a PDF and you just look at it. But that's a thing, and I wanted to talk about him because we've talked about Substack and we never really like got a chance to look at any of their books. And eventually, like, people are gonna crap on this, but like when 3 Earth, 3 Moons comes out, I'm sure it'll be like the second coming. So. Young Goku over 9,000 says, I have to hit the gym and listen later, but can I say that nice, subtle, quiet, I gotta hit the gym. gotta get strong. That Death of Wolverine book was like,
hold on. Good for you for doing that.
I know. It's great. But it's like, a little quiet, like, hey, keep myself honest. Yeah, a little flex. Exactly. But it's so freaking weird and amazing. Didn't realize it was a sequel to Inferno. Also, Jane Foster, weird, but okay. Yeah, we're going to talk about that next.
Yes, we are.
The Clit Commander says, about to hit the gym. Just wanted to take a minute. You're hitting the gym too. So you and Young Goku are going to go to the gym. All right. You okay, fine. Just wanted to take a minute to finally send some love to my favorite folks on YouTube. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
Terrifying.
What?
I'm quoting the movie he's from.
Oh, yes.
Power is power. Thank you so much for the amazing super sticker. Love it.
Thank
it's adorable. Thank you so much, man. And Dex Baker, another member of the population hitting the gym. Catch it on the replay. All right, Dex, you and Click Commander and Young Goku over 9,000 can all go to the same gym and work out when I am not. Fine. Enjoy your flexing.
Maybe they're like hinting. They're like,
yeah,
guys.
I'm gonna hit the gym and I'm gonna eat less, Sal.
Right.
I'm gonna try and take care of myself.
All right, ComicPop.
You know what I'm talking about, man?
Get going.
Get better. Get strong.
Get strong.
What?
Strong.
Is that a thing?
Well, it's like what cats can be or whatever.
I don't know what
it's
that
like
means.
chunk, but you can be strong.
Oh, yeah. Are we talking about the...
Well, we can't just talk about Deaths of Wolverine because we have to talk about
the Lives
of Wolverine as well, because that came out the week before this book.
Yeah.
So 2 weeks ago. That was written by Ben Percy with art by Joshua Cassara. But we're really going to talk about Deaths of Wolverine. This feels to me the most like Hawks and Pox that we've gotten since. Like just 2 different intertwined stories happening.
And it's funny because I've been thinking like lately, all throughout the what's it called?
Mm-hmm.
The period of like Hickman's X-Men. I'm like, Wolverine is like the most popular, most profitable character in the X-Men. And he has had like...
He has a book.
He's had a book the entire time. He has played roles in every single event.
Yeah.
And yet he has felt wholly inconsequential to the entire era. So it's kind of fun to see like a Hawks and Pox-esque thing where they're like, it's all about Wolverine now.
Yeah.
And it's ironically right after Hickman left. But whatever. But the 10 Lives of Wolverine, Ben Percy and Joshua Cassara. What's this premise here?
Why don't you tell me what this premise is?
I didn't read it. I don't know.
You didn't read the Deaths of Wolverine?
I read the Deaths.
Oh, the Lives of Wolverine. Okay. The premise here is that it seemingly is like
it's Quantum Leap.
It's Quantum Leap. It's like Quantum Leap. but it's also like, you know, Days of Future Past.
Yes.
Like in that they're sending Wolverine places. And by they, I mean like Xavier and Jean
yeah.
are sending Wolverine to stop what appears to be the death of Xavier at the hands of Omega Red.
Yeah. Now here's an opportunity, by the way, for them to go, all right, he fails and he kills Xavier, and then it becomes the Age of Apocalypse all over again.
Oh no.
Because we did that already.
Yeah.
But,
I gotta tell you, by the way, if you didn't read The Lives of Wolverine, there's like so many amazing moments in this. It just feels like a Wolverine comic.
Yeah.
It looks like a Wolverine comic. Like, and it's like in that grim, gritty, dirty feel to it.
Yes, that's how Wolverine should feel.
There's something about him in The Lives of Wolverine that I couldn't help but read him in the voice of animated.
Oh, Cal Dodd?
Yeah. Wolverine, I was like, okay, we're here, we're doing it.
Berserker Barrage.
But basically, it's like they're sending Wolverine back to different points to save Xavier.
Yeah.
But like, I guess he's going into his former bodies because the first time we see him, he has bone claws.
Bone claws.
Bone claws ready. And like, it's when Xavier's being birthed.
Yes.
And this is a dope sequence that happens. And then by the end of it, he hops yet again and ends up in Vietnam.
Cool.
So I'm looking forward to the rest of that.
Yeah.
It also makes reference, of course, we're dealing with Omega Red, and we're dealing with Mikhail Rasputin, which is set up in some other books that were going on during the Krakoan era. So we got that going on. One hand, which is referenced in this.
Right.
Death of Wolverine.
Yes, the 10 Deaths of Wolverine.
Yes.
Which I think there are 10 issues apiece. I don't recall.
I thought there were 5.
I hope so. I think it's 10 overall.
Yeah, it's week 10. Like,
there you
so
go.
it's 1 through 10.
All
so
right.
it's like, I love this. I love this timeline because it just says week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. I'm like,
that's cool.
Get rid of those. Get rid of those dates.
No, that only just puts us in trouble. But yeah, 10 deaths. Benjamin Percy, Federico Vincentini. Yeah. This is not that.
No.
Like at all.
But it references it.
It does reference it, kind of.
No, it does directly. There's a scene.
What?
Where Jean.
Oh, yes. We see that happen. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But the whole the first half of the book is Moira just running through the gate she ran from in Inferno to like.
It's just a Moira book.
It's a Moira book. Now. This whole I think the whole book is going to be a Moira book.
Well, I mean, she's being.
Moira is pursued by Mystique
and others.
And
like
others.
The government.
Yeah, the CIA wants her too, and everybody's after Mystique. It's like they might as well call the book "Get Moira." And so Moira goes on, goes fugitive with it, and she dyes her hair, cuts her hair, and changes her clothes, and she pulls in a favor from Jane Foster, and
to have her checked because
because she's dying.
Yeah, Death's also after her.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's being chased by everything, literally everything: the X-Men, the Brotherhood, the CIA, the government, and Death itself. Yeah, she has like lung cancer.
It's stage 4.
I'm
it's
like,
real bad.
For real. How lame. Like how cliche. Like she coughs and it's a bad cough. Like I don't know. I'm just like I could feel the absence of Hickman in this, like so like
see, I thought that when she looked at the blood that there was like
a plant or something in her.
It's like there's something up.
I mean, like I will say that a saving grace of this is that I really like the idea of like her inevitable death, which I think will result in her resurrection and then like undoing that mess that happened at the end of the Inferno's event. But so she's getting attacked in her hospital room. Jane Foster, unbeknownst to them, is Valkyrie. Remember when they did that?
Yeah.
Well, she's here and she's like saves Moira kind of. Black Tom Cassidy finds like a tumor in Krakoa.
He calls it an egg.
An egg, yeah, but it's like, but it grows.
He calls it an egg, and I think that's very specific to mention that language because that is what the X-Men or the
resurrection protocols
are birthed from. So I thought that was an interesting choice.
Yeah, but it was a different color, and
Yeah.
But the egg is birthed, and like a warlock Wolverine comes out and slashes him with his, I don't know, with his phalanxian claws. And so Black Tom is dead, but he'll be resurrected, I'm sure. And
they need him.
Yeah, they do. But yeah, so like Wolverine, there's another Wolverine like running around that was birthed on Krakoa that seems to have Warlock's physiology and
he's phalanx.
Yeah, he's phalanxed out. And Jean and Xavier are doing their thing with Wolverine being like, cerebroed in time. And then they like
She can sense Wolverine.
Right, she can sense Wolverine's there, and Wolverine just says, "I'm no one. I was never here." And I'm like, "What? I don't know what's happening, but it's a neat idea. At least it's a neat.
So,
It's neat how they're balancing how they're bridging these two ideas.
Yeah.
You basically got like 2 issues for the price of one.
Right.
Though I'm still like baffled about. I guess they're like maybe
So-
maybe this is one of those things where it's like we made another Wolverine.
So here's what I'm trying to take my tinfoil hat off.
Yeah.
Let's take the tinfoil hat off.
Okay,
Tiffany.
all right.
But while it's on, I'm like, oh my gosh, this has to do with that Pox issue. We're there in the future,
Right.
and it's her and Wolverine.
Yeah.
And it's him somehow.
Oh, the future Wolverine from Pox?
He got somehow
That'd be cool. I'd be okay with that.
I don't think that's what it is.
Why not?
I don't know. But I'm like, that's the tie. That's the tie between Wolverine and Moira.
Yeah, is that he always kills her. Or survives.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I
don't know anything about this. It's just neat.
Yeah.
But it's also like if you are interested in a post Hickman engineered no more Hickman, but still using his ideas future of X-Men.
Where's that meme of Wanda going no more, and it's like Hickman?
Yeah, no more Hickman. That's coming, man. Right after I get my hands on some Photoshop. But yeah, this is where it's headed. Like this is the new normal. Is Duggan's X-Men and Percy's Wolverine event.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're getting. The Captain Coon mentioned, "Don't worry, Sal. I'll be here listening while playing GTA Online while the others are at the gym together."
Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
That's
yes.
right.
Make me feel better. All right. Thank you so much. Eating a pizza by myself. But yeah. So yeah, that's it. 10 Deaths of Wolverine. It's a thing.
I'm digging it.
It's cool. I don't hate it.
Well, I like the intertwining series, and I think if you you should check out the Lives one as well.
Well, issue 2 comes out next week.
Yeah,
so
it just looks good too.
Yeah.
They both have such different looks to them.
They do. Yeah, the art was a little I liked the art in Deaths.
Yeah.
But there were a few moments that were hard to follow.
Okay.
It was just like I was like, there's a lot happening right now.
Right.
But it's supposed to be commotion, like a commotion.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Cool. Let's jump into some recommendations, shall we?
Yes. Let's shall
us. Amazing Spider-Man 88 comes out. The Queen Goblin is going to be revealed. Okay. Dark Knights of Steel #4 comes out. Oh, I forgot to talk about DC versus Vampires. I liked it.
There you go.
Nocterra returns.
I also read 2 weeks ago. I read that Rain book by Joe Hill.
Yeah.
It's a novella that Joe Hill wrote.
Yes.
And then they adapted it.
Yeah.
Into a book.
Right.
And I liked it.
And you liked it.
Anyway.
X Lives of Wolverine, 10 Lives of Wolverine #2 comes out.
I would have recommended that, but you said it first.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to step on your toes there.
Hey, but look at that. Sabretooth's getting a book.
Hey, I guess they're letting him out.
I guess it depends on when it'll be told, but yeah.
Yeah.
They're letting him out.
Right.
Shang-Chi #8 is coming out. I like that book so much. So, I'm picking that up.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Dan Slott's massive opus, Fantastic Four Reckoning War Alpha #1 comes out. This dude loves his alphas, man. Let me tell you. I'm going to read it. We'll see how it goes.
Could you click on that one?
This one?
No. That one.
Oh, yay.
Excellent. The Excellent is coming out, written by Peter Milligan, with art by Mike Allred.
Yeah.
So
that's so cool. They're kind of bringing back Ecstatics. Excellent. All right. That's something Hickman was like, I got no room for that.
Right.
I have no plan for that. Yeah.
I've heard a lot about this book, but Monkey Prince #1 is coming out.
Yes, people are talking about this book. I've heard people talk about the book, and not in a negative way. So that's nice.
Oh, Magic Order 2 #4 is coming out.
Yeah, that's right.
I wish it wasn't called that.
Oh, Magic Order 2. Yeah, they need to call it Magic Order something else, under title. I don't know, something like that. And I think
there's a lot more books coming out, but that's I think where we're going to.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap up.
Leave it for now.
The new Shadow Man also drops, and I enjoyed it. I read that they sent me a copy of that, but which I read, and I'm like, hey, the art's really cool. I love John Davis Hunt's art.
Mm-hmm.
Sad to see him go, but the new art I think fits the character a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be neat to check out.
Nice.
Otherwise, we want to thank you so much for hanging out with us, and thank you especially to our super chatters for sponsoring this episode. We're really lucky to have you all. Thank you so much for subscribing and clicking the bell for notifications. If you want anything else, you can always check the description box below this video. It's got every link for everything we do. So check that out as well.
All the links.
And we'll see you guys next time with an all new episode of Off the Rack. In the meantime, make sure to subscribe and watch this space because there's plenty more coming from this channel in tomorrow. I'm doing a Elseworlds with Jason Inman tomorrow. That'll be live, I think, in the morning, and more. So keep your eyes peeled and hang out with us. We'll look forward to seeing you next time. And of course, keep reading. I'm Sal.
And I'm Tiffany.
So long, everybody.